Why are you half in and half out of the driveway?
Well, the rear end decided to completely go out on us, and it won't move.
It's dead, right?
It's about 99% dead, yes.
I don't know that we can push the ramp truck up the driveway.
I'm hoping we can make it move just enough just to get it out of the road. So
give it a shot. Finnegan's garage, the OG roadkill ramp truck is going back on the streets. Remember this thing? 73 model, C30, converted for hauling cars way back in the day. And when we got our hands on it, we road tripped it a couple times with the original 454 and turbo 400 combo, got about 6 miles to the gallon, and went up hills at about 40 miles an hour. It sucked. So, changed all of that. Check this out. Ripped out the V8 gas engine and installed a 5.9 Cummins diesel engine out of a 1997 Dodge 3/4 ton truck. That truck was also converted for airport tug duty. It was narrowed, shortened, all that good stuff. Didn't have a lot of miles on it, 17,000 going around an airport, probably at wide open throttle. So when we got our hands on this, we didn't leave it stock. We took the cylinder head off, found out the head gasket had been blown. But luckily, the guys from Powerdriven Diesel were here, and they rescued us. We O-ringed the block, installed a new head gasket, ARP head studs, new fuel delivery valves, changed the timing, did the killer dowel pin mod. Oh, most importantly, Borg-Warner compound turbos. Almost zero lag in this thing, and 60 pounds of boost. This thing is a beast. While they were here, we also crafted a 4-inch stainless steel exhaust that goes all the way to the back of the truck. This thing is amazing, and it's so powerful that it only took about 2 or 3 burnouts before we blew up the original Dana 70 rear end in this truck. So today, drum brake Dana 70 broken, coming out, brand new AAM 11.5-inch ring gear, disc brake axle going in that the guys from Quick Performance went through and outfitted with 342 gears, which is perfect for our diesel, and limited slip differential. It's going to be awesome. The big thing here is the new rear end is way narrower than the old rear end, and that's because it's a single wheel rear axle. And we're going to show you how we made our dual rear wheels work on this truck right now. Disconnected the anti-sway bar, which, yes, this truck has one. We've disconnected the U-bolts, brake lines.
Emergency brake cables.
There's nothing left.
That's it.
Yeah. Now we can roll this out, find out what went wrong, and compare this to our new rear end.
All right, I'm going to rip my jack out from under it so you can pull it. Ah, hell, just go. It's working.
Look at that monster. Let's keep going. It's a giant.
Golly. Hey, let's weigh it.
Let's weigh it.
So cotton's at 423. I'm going to say 510. What's your guess?
480.
What's at stake here?
My respect and admiration.
Good enough.
Loser buys dinner. Okay.
Ready?
Yes. Off yet? Hey now.
What are we?
451, which means cotton lost And I win, because you're over. Well, we're both over. I guess Cotton won. Oh, yeah, Price is Right rules. Cotton, you're the winner. What does he win?
Are we sure it's full of fluid? Are the brake pads good?
You really don't want him to win, do you?
Congratulations. Whatever.
Nothing. Let's recap here. Broken, Dana 70, destroyed, courtesy of David Newbern and his right foot, and maybe compound turboed Cummins horsepower, who knows. Also, 410 gears in here for a gas motor, okay? Ramp Truck originally had a 454 V8 and turbo 400 trans in it. You needed 410s to put that V8 in its torque band so that it would be happy and pull things up hills. Problem is, that 410 doesn't work with that diesel because that diesel doesn't really want to rev past 4,000 RPM. So, AAM rear axle, rebuilt by Quick Performance, that now has 342s and a Trutrac differential in there. And this is narrower than this, which is good because our tires rubbed on the side of the bed of this thing. So I think this is about 4 inches narrower. We're going to find out exactly how much narrower right now.
And how are we going to do that?
Straight edges, man, and a tape measure right here. Wheel mounting flange to wheel mounting flange.
And
survey says
73 3/8.
Okay. Now we don't have our brake rotors on this thing, but they only add about 3/8 of an inch, so we'll just add that on to whatever measurement we get here. Oh, let me go out further.
67 and a half.
So
67 7/8 roughly. It's right around 6 inches, which is perfect. They'll bring both sides in about 3 inches.
okay. Oh yeah, and plus 3/8 of an inch on each side for brakes.
Yeah, because we had about 5 or 6 inches of clearance inside the tire to the chassis.
Let's give the people what they want, the damage report.
Is it time?
Oh yeah.
I've been waiting on this. What do you think the problem is?
I think we either stripped the pinion or maybe a spider gear is just destroyed in that thing.
I'm going to go with spider gears.
Right off there, homie. This is exciting. What did the Cummins do to the Dana 70?
Ready?
Yeah. Wait, no cheating. Oh, that's a lot of metal.
Wow.
Dang, so the ring gear's fine.
Spider gears are toast. Wow. I love that smell.
What?
I like the smell. I like the smell of gear
You
oil.
like burnt gear oil? Oh, you are a weird man. I mean, I get it. You exist on nothing but chicken nuggets and pizza. That I understand.
Okay, look. So let's rotate it
But
and
gear
dump,
oil is
and
perfume.
dump this out. Oh, we can't. It's got fluid in it.
Oh, that smells horrible, dude. It's interesting how, like, every once in a while it would grab itself and you could move the truck a little bit. But for the most part, no. Junk. As you can see, the axle's under the back end of the truck. This is a spring-over setup here. The leaf spring sitting on top of the axle tube. And we've got a brand new perch from Quick Performance just loosely sitting on top of the axle tube. If you look close, coming out of the bottom of those leaf springs is a dowel pin. That dowel pin is going to go into the hole of the perch, locating the leaf springs and the axle tube together, and then you're relying on the U-bolts to clamp everything together. So right now everything is just kind of loosely sitting there. We'll get it all set up on both sides like this, move the rear end front to back, side to side. Once we get it square to the chassis, then we can weld the perches in place. We're going to try to use most of the hardware that came with this truck. Right now you're looking at the bottom spring plate. It's a two-piece setup. This is the part that the axle rides across. This is the perch for our anti-sway bar. and the U-bolts will come out through the bottom nuts right there. This is for a much bigger axle tube diameter, but I think we might be able to make this work. I don't know. Throw it up in there. I guess we could find out. The U-bolts are actually in really good shape, but I don't think they've ever been off the truck, so we're going to take all the scale and rust off of them just to make our lives easier. And if you're at home, peep these 3M headphones, right? They're earmuffs, and they're Bluetooth. And you can answer the phone because they have a mic built into them. If you're working, you can just sit here, push a button, talk to your chick. Don't even stop what you're doing. Just keep going. And when she's off the phone, listen to your music the whole time. It's amazing. I think my wife got these at Costco for Christmas for me because I built her an El Camino. It's like a fair trade. Dave and I are under the truck. Truck is sitting on the ground, and those of you out there with well-equipped shops wouldn't be laying down for this portion of the video. You'd be standing comfortably under your truck as it rests in the air under your drive-on 4-post lift. We are not that fortunate here, so we're doing this the hard way. Time to set the pinion angle before we permanently weld in our leaf spring mounting pads, because the position of those pads determine your pinion angle. So you'll notice no jack stands under the truck, wheels on the ground, all the weight resting on the suspension. And the pinion angle, as we look right here, is the relationship between the front U-joint and the rear U-joint back here at our differential. You'll notice this says 5.5 degrees on that nifty digital angle finder. That's because that's what it was before we took the truck apart, and this truck really didn't shake or vibrate. And so we are going to just copy that again. Why is this important? Why do we care about the pinion angle? Well, that affects the relationship between the front U-joint and the rear U-joint. And if those U-joints aren't close to being at the same angle, the truck will vibrate. Why does it vibrate? Well, those U-joints will rotate, not in a circle, but in like an ellipse or, kind of an oval shape. And they'll rotate at different speeds. And when they rotate at different speeds, that's when the truck shakes. That's when the U-joints wear out. There's nifty videos online that illustrate this really well visually, where you can see how changing the U-joint angle actually affects the speed at which it rotates and then wears itself out. So that's important. We don't have that technology here to show it to you, but just trust us.
Yeah.
Make your U-joint angles between the front and the rear equal and opposite. So if one's, the rear one's pointing up, the front one should be pointed down at approximately the same angle. So we'll go ahead and tack our spring perches in and then take the rear end out and fully weld it.
I'll weld this side, you weld the other side.
Nice thing about the ramp truck, you're nowhere near the gas tank.
Right. I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, all right. So that's my side, this is your side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I wanted that side.
Good.
I like that side. That's weld through primer, so
Yep.
we can weld all over this thing.
All right.
I don't want to burn through my brand new hoodie here.
Explain to me why you're using that helmet over the other one.
I just grabbed it. Is there another one?
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
Well.
You see. Oh, this is that's a Digital Elite. Oh, yeah. That's Digital Elite, right?
I shouldn't have said anything.
Digital Infinity, this has the clear light lens technology. I'm not just selling this. I didn't know what he was talking about, but this shows more colors on the spectrum of light that you can see than that one, and therefore I can see the puddle way better with this one. Thank you for that. That'll be the difference during this weld off, whether I win or lose.
Well, you should be using that one.
What do I win if my bracket on this side looks infinitely better than your bracket on that side? What do I get?
Safety.
Safety. All right, that's fair enough. Ah, look, you give me bent stuff. Give me bent stuff.
You can't work with that?
I don't want to work with that.
Oh God.
No, that's for zip ties. That's for zip ties. Come on. All right. Let's It's you over here getting tips. Hurt myself a little bit. That's not too bad. It's a little tall here, but I'm happy with that part. I think that was because I was pointed straight at it instead of at an angle. And when I started coming over here, it was at a better angle. I won't let that happen again.
All I'm hearing is excuses.
I won't let that happen again. Okay, stand this thing straight up so I can get a better angle on it.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a beaut. Put a hole in my brand new bands. Next. Good luck. Here, let me give you the personal protection. We only have one pair of gloves and one jacket in the whole garage. This is for the championship.
Make sure you
Finnegan's Garage weld-off happening right now.
make sure you get the camera and zoom in on this when we're done.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
You're like, hold on, let me make sure the weld looks okay before I speak. You imagine the force of the machine that not only sheared that 1/4-inch plate, but then bent it at a 90-degree angle?
we need that.
We need that in the garage. Finnegan's Garage needs an iron worker.
What is this? What did you leave me with?
Bonus wire. I mean, I'm not saying I was trying to sabotage you. Down there. Use the lineman pliers, not the ones you tried to use earlier only for zip ties.
This is affecting the gas flow. What if you like welded the tip?
I gave you bonus slag. Real welder would use that to their advantage.
Let me just straighten this back. Let me just straighten this back up a bit. I hate gloves. I can't. I need smaller gloves.
You hate gloves?
I can't even open the pliers.
But you love having fingers, though, huh? I can't help it if you have like tiny hands. Okay, short arms, like a T-Rex. Okay, no pressure, but you know, the whole world is watching.
Yeah.
Or at least,
whoa! We can't be having this.
Or at least the last 100,000 people that still subscribe to this channel. Sounds good. Got some good flow going there. How does it look? Are you happy? Content? Woo! All right. You know what you just won? All the MIG welding jobs for the rest of our lives. You get to MIG weld everything. Nice work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Pretty much, that's just your jacket now.
Can I get some more gloves?
Maybe. 2020. We'll see how 2019 goes.
New axle is installed. It's an 11.5-inch AAM rear axle from Quick Performance. This thing's out of a 2004 Duramax single wheel truck, which means it's 6 inches narrower than our factory dually axle was. Our dually axle had drum brakes. We now have disc. This thing stops awesome. The diesel is loving the 342 gears. This thing pulls like a freight train. Ignore the gray spots on the axle. I have to touch that up with paint. But now we're going to show you the differences between the single wheel axle and the dually axle and the problems we ran into. So here is a dually rotor. You can see the difference there between that rotor and this rotor. And you can't simply just slide this rotor and put a caliper on this rear axle, because the caliper flange here sets out too far. A dually would actually sit right in here to give you the correct offset to make this work. Ask me how I know. So here is a factory 16-inch dually wheel, and you can see it hits the rotor and the caliper of the single wheel axle. So we picked up a set of 17-inch steel wheels. I think these are from a Dodge truck, just to see if they would clear, but we have a little more room for the rotor, but the caliper still runs into the back side of the wheel. So here's our 19.5s. This is the steel inner for the rear, and even it hit the caliper right in here. The aluminum 19.5 cleared by a mile, and that's because it starts to taper out further away from the hub, right up in here, versus this one. This one starts to taper sooner, and the way we got around that, just run a 1/4 inch spacer. This pushed the wheel out just enough to clear the caliper. On the front of the truck, I didn't really have to modify anything to make these wheels fit. They would have bolted right on, but I did want to run the factory style cap. That meant I needed factory style lug nuts. So I could not find those lug nuts to fit a 9/16 wheel stud that came on this truck. But luckily, Jamie down at our local O'Reilly was cool enough and had the patience to help me find the right knurl size and length to convert this truck over to a metric. That way I could run factory lug nuts front and rear.
It's like 5 whole miles. I feel good about this. Axle's still in one piece. And granted, the dudes at Quick Performance asked us to please do no burnouts for the first 500 miles, then dump the gear oil and change it. And then they said, do anything you want to this axle.
Anything.
Stack blasphemy on the bed and have blasphemy do a burnout while attempting to do a burnout with the Ramp Truck. They said, go ahead.
Are we done?
So I think we will. But for now, we are enjoying our 47RH built by Powerdriven Diesel, because now instead of having 4 10s in the rear axle and having this trans go from first, second, third, like shift immediately and buzzing down the highway at 3,000 RPM, now that we have 342s in here, the gear spacing is much better, and once this thing goes into fourth and the converter locks up, dude, it hums down the road 60 miles an hour, like 500 RPM.
It's much happier.
Much happier.
It really likes the load, like from the higher gears.
Oh yeah. It loves the load of the higher gear. And I love it. It's quieter now.
Yeah.
Like, I take back what I said about I'd never diesel swap the other Ramp Truck, the mid one, Square Force 1, because this thing was always, or at least a few times we drove it before we blew up the axle, this thing was really loud.
Yeah.
And now, not so much.
It's good.
Not so much.
I can't wait to see what the mileage is. Get out on the highway and actually...
Yeah, because we got 10 hauling this to the drag strip in Brainerd and back, hot rodding the whole way, and when we did that...
You were only in third gear.
We didn't have overdrive or the lockup converter working. Oh man, mileage in this is going to be insane.
What's your guesses on mileage?
I bet unloaded this thing probably gets 14 or 15 miles to the gallon.
I was going to say 14.
And I bet with blasphemy on the back, we could get 12.
That was my exact numbers.
It's like we share the same brain.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Are you me?
Right now, are you thinking try party mode?